evening, everybody. How you doing? Welcome, ladies and gents. Yes. This is Rebellious Ruth this evening. Hope you enjoyed that little intro video. Yeah, TG's trying a few new things, and yeah. So, getting into the digital courtship era, it's kind of hit us in the chest, especially our generation, and I guess the younger generation didn't know any better. But yes, so remember to subscribe. We talk about all sorts of various topics. I'm just getting the headline from TG over here. He's like added little pictures and done all sorts of stuff. So yay! There's me. So click the subscribe. Okay, so this whole digital courtship thing fascinated me. Okay, firstly, TG and I met on a dating app. I'm not going to, as for those who know me, you know which one. But yes, what got me sort of into this topic was that on Netflix they have this series, this 6-part series. It's like, it's really easy to watch. You can watch one every night, or you can crash them like I do, like smash the whole bunch of them. And it was Hot Girls Wanted Turned On. And this is number 2 in the series. The first one was all about the porn industry, and that got quite graphic. I still have like thoughts about it. It's kind of hectic. But this one goes, every episode is its own exploration into the porn industry and into various kinds of porn and into sort of the dating and what's happening currently. So there's sort of a bit of a video that we put together that we can have a look about what it's sort of like a trailer. So yeah, let's take it away, TG.
Computer. Pretty much I'm a psychiatrist. I might be doing it naked, but I'm making a difference.
I literally can't stop looking at that screen.
I'm in a room full of 300 people, but I'm on my phone, so technically like I'm alone.
From camming, I get a kind of relationship that I have trouble with in real life.
You deserve some real happiness, not just the computer fantasy.
Yeah, so that was a little snippet into this series that I'm watching. And every episode was kind of interesting. Some of them got a bit boring, but we'll go through them quickly. And it just gives you an idea of what's sort of going on in the industry and how this relates to our daily lives when it comes to dating. So the first one is obviously Woman on Top. And you think, no, it's sort of the literal sense of women gaining in the career of doing well, being a director, being a photographer in the industry, because it was a complete man-run industry. Hello, Amy. I'm just actually seeing here in front of me. I can't for 1 second see all the comments. I don't know what's TG. I don't know what's happened to the comments. Hello, Amy. I'm just sorry. So there. How's it, Brandon? How's it, Amy? Yeah, Cameron. How's it, Cameron? Sorry about that, people. All right. So where were we? So, okay, Woman on Top. All right. So this explores, and what's incredible about this, instead of viewing it from a guy's perspective, this gets totally passionate. And it's a total look on how a woman would like to view porn. Also, a woman's saying that, you know, the industry used to be a lot more relaxed. There wasn't such this demand for new stuff, and how porn's become so like instant. You don't have to pay for it anymore, and it's become like a real cutthroat industry. And this is sort of the theme along every episode, you could sort of say. Well, that's my take on it. And but this woman, Erica Lass, she's a Spanish lady. She really gives a different view. I haven't looked up too much of her work. She's made certain movies. She's very open. She's very approachable. She's like, really wants to get her perspective, and maybe even what I would like to see. Not that I'm a Mills and Boone type fan, but I think she makes it more sort of like, she shows the kiss. She shows it sort of like in a movie setting, but with the sex, which is of course very erotic. So yes, so there's that one. And then there's the most fascinating one that I sort of really resonated with and was quite shocked at. But I get it because I know guys that do this. So just before I met TG, I was on the dating app world. And I know another colleague, she's been on all the dating apps, and she's an attractive girl. In fact, if I go to her where her local hangouts are and I say I'm from this part of the world, they're like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah, please tell her I say hi. So I don't know what she's not queuing up with, but it's an instant gratification, busy world. TG, I'm struggling to see the comments. Anyway, all right. So where was I? So basically, it's swipe left. Amy, help me out here. Is mismatch. Swipe right is accept or match or I like you, and we take it from there. And the problem is everyone's just swiping left, right? You just totally see an external. That's why it's so important for guys to okay, thank you, TG. Now I see all the comments. To sort of, there's no essence into what someone's like, and it's a problem. We're not even getting to know people. And that's why I suppose groups are so good. In a way, you sort of, especially the smaller groups, you really get to know people, which is really nice. And I think a lot of the time, people who want to meet people, towards the end of the show, I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to try and explain like how it's good to meet people. Maybe we can discuss a few of those. All right, let's read some comments. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Mountain God, my wife's sister met her husband online. Okay. And were you like freaked out? Were you like, oh my God, how could you do that? Like, did you know about it? Yeah. So Brandon's like, I met my ex-wife online. Actually, I met my ex-husband online too, sort of. Like, he contacted me online, but not on an app. I think it was through Facebook or something. So, yeah, that didn't work either. So maybe that says something for that. It's hard. Dating apps have ruined women. An average woman, 5 out of 10, thinks she's a 10 out of 10. Ooh. Do you agree, ladies? Do you agree? And I think guys as well. So this, if you guys have Netflix, check it out. It's called Hot Girls Wanted, Turned On. And the second episode is all about the dating app. And a little bit about this oak is that he's like a normal average guy, and then he gets a chance to go on Big Brother. And of course, the Big Brother stardom hits him. I don't know, did he come first? I can't recall. I don't think so.
No.
I think he came like second or third of the Big Brother. He was let out rather late, but he hung around, and he all of a sudden rocketed to fame. And this obviously made a huge impression on him, and his career is literally like organizing parties. So that is amazing in itself. But he lives in Las Vegas. He's become selfish, and he's become very, very conceited, and everything is, date a girl once, twice, 3 times. And if she comes back at him with, why didn't you call? Or I haven't heard from you, he like dismisses her. Like, he literally doesn't take any of their real values and concerns, even if he likes them. Even if he likes them, he will hop on to the next one. And it's like, but hang on a minute. What are you saying? That you just don't have time for drama? But he's so used to swiping that it's for him, he doesn't care. He essentially doesn't care. So yeah. So yes, so let's just have a look at the little intro on that one. Oh wait, which episode is that? Wait, hold on.
Number 2.
Yes.
Okay. But the commitment.
Oh, and this is exactly what TG found recently, is that he saw a little video about men's perspective on the issue. So let's have a look at that. absolutely hysterical, as sure as most men would. Yes. By the way, Cameron, I do feel that divorce can be very, very positive and liberating. So owning it is basically a girl who decided she's going to be her own boss, and then she recruits people in a very safe, apparent environment, and she recruits them, and she hopes that it will all go well. And obviously she's very disappointed because obviously these girls that want to do this, they don't come from unique homes, they come from very dysfunctional homes, and a lot of them have drug addictions and issues, and often the girls will just flake out and won't follow through with the actual business plan at hand. And it's amazing how you could be talking about this at a dinner table and watch this and then understand a whole new side to it, see it as a total business. Like, this main girl is in it for the money. She's realized that she can make a killing on the money, and she invests in all of these girls, and she looks after them. She makes sure things are kept safe and above board, and they often don't have to work with males if they don't want to. Like, they can stick just to females, and yeah, it gets into it. So apparently Cameron says, you must see The Better Bachelor on YouTube. I have been watching him for a few days now. You should have told me you were doing the stream. Oh, okay, sorry. It was on the thing. I didn't realize. But okay, so we've discussed women being in the industry, how that's changed the industry. I think for the better. I hope for the better. And they want women in porn. Like, they actually, like, it's for them, it's important to be there. 2, how quick the dating thing happens, in and out, literally. And I think it makes a person shallow. It makes a person very weak. Okay, so, and then we spoke obviously about someone who's trying to do it in a safe space and make good money and really use the industry for its advantage. And then, so let me just see here, TG. All right. So then it was, of course, the money shot. Now, the money shots, I wasn't really very comfortable watching. It basically shows what the industry wants, and it focuses on this guy that's trying to make it big as a porn star director and caster, and he's trying to improve his life, and he has made bigger money than the average Joe, but more than half of his family, bar his mother, like, disapproves of it. And that's sort of interesting to see that he's still got a life. Like, I think his partner's a porn star or something. I think that was also, like, bizarre. Like, you just sort of are so accustomed to it that you can actually have dating someone who is a porn star. Like, I don't know, would anyone, I mean, it's a guy's dream to date a porn star, let's not kid. But like, really? Like, hi mom, what do you do, honey? Oh, I'm a porn star. That would be hysterical. Then Brandon says, I find the idea of female woman director, producer of porn quite exciting. I think there's generally less objectification and more fantasy that talks to women's desires and attraction. 100%, Brandon. You've hit the nail on the head with that one. Okay, so the money shot was obviously about the big explosion moments. And what the audience wants, the genre of things. Okay, so the next one is Take Me Private, which I found this one entirely fascinating, okay? And this sort of delves into the misgivings of the internet, all right? The huge misgivings of the internet. So Take Me Private. Now this girl, okay, you see her there. She talks all about her camming history and how she started camming. So if those who don't know, I didn't know this before I watched this thing. I mean, I've seen, like, on little pop-ups on things, want to chat one-on-one, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't realize that this is a huge industry that's actually happening at this moment in time. So she goes in and she talks about her regulars that she has, that chat, and then there's certain, obviously you can go seriously, like a little bit of time. And I mean, the rates are ridiculous. It's like, I think, what, 26 cents a message or something, and then it's what's it, then it's like $2 something for a semi-private chat room, but anyone can join and watch or whatever, and then you get one-on-one, and it's literally $1 more. And you think to yourself, these women are showing their all for $3 a minute, or for say $4 a minute to whoever's paying. It's like, it takes you back to like 200 years ago of whoring, literally. And I'm not judging. I mean, I'm not saying what these girls do is wrong, or the guys that watch them is wrong. But there's one thing that struck me, that the deceit between you thinking that you're actually having special time with this person and not paying for a service is crazy. Like, these people eventually, because they believe you have one-on-one time with them, that they're actually meaning something to you. And I suppose there is a certain amount of care. Anyway, it goes through this. This is a spoiler alert. If you guys want to watch this, maybe I shouldn't ruin it, because the whole half of the episode is really improved, but I would definitely take a look at this. But basically, this guy meets his cam girl in real life after, I think, 3 or 4 years? 3 or 4 years. And of course, it's not the same. I mean, we've all done this. Like, you chat to someone overseas and you've never met them before, and then you meet them and it's completely different to that. So yeah, Hardy Dave is here. You can have me for free. Thanks, Hardy Dave. I sent 2 videos on Telegram for you to watch. Might send a 3rd. Okay, Cameron. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now I'm sort of nervous. You should have seen the video Clint TG found this week. Oh, my soul. He belongs to one of those boy groups. Oh, my machis. People are getting creative, yo. Very creative. So, at the end of the day, here's this dude, and he believes he's got a special relationship with this cam girl, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But what do you guys think? Do you think that paying for a sexual thrill on the internet makes you closer to that person? Like, all the one time, and they can say the most amazing things, and I think it's not kept professional. It's like, oh, I love you, and these things become so verbose that it's not actually real. It's not real. So yes, so that was something to look at. Like, I don't know what TG's doing. What is TG doing? Oh, right. Our fire's gone out. They've seen you, TG. Okay. So I can't read that writing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're turning the page on that one. All right. So try and answer my question, guys. Like, do you find it brings you closer to meet people online? Do you find it's too late? Or do you think it's really, really, like, it helps? It's got its positives and its negatives. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, I'll cover him there. This is so distracting. This is actually insane. So yes. So all right, so there was some background movement there. I don't know. I'm grateful that I met someone online, and I enabled it to work. And I think the biggest thing for me is that I wanted to find someone, and I didn't. Did I put pressure on? I did in a way. Like, I'm a type of person, I don't like wasting my time. I like to know that if I start a project, it's got a goal, it has an end, even though I suppose this YouTube venture is a little bit of an experiment for both of us, but it's fun. And the dating thing. So we're talking like, the courtship of it. So how do you guys start a chat online? Like, are you on chats? Are you on Tinder? I think I would definitely be online if I wasn't with anyone. It's definitely a way to meet people. But I think if you really want to meet true people, like if you have a hobby, whether it be shooting or archery or stamp collecting or playing games or magic. I think it's so important to meet people in that space. Holiday, this one time, one night stand turned into a counseling session, sharing some words and a cry. The new romance fueled us until sunrise. Okay. Did you end up? So there was no snogging involved. There was no like, what's it called? Happy time. What's it called? Happy ending. All right. Well, that can happen. I mean, I suppose. So why did you just start talking and talking and talking? All right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you had a new romance. After sharing. Okay. I don't know what I'm missing there. Okay, fine. Fair enough. So I think people need to be, like I say, if you want to have fun and you really like, you just want to have sex, then it's important to let the other person know, not to really lead them on. I don't think, but women are so, I think, naive, unless women are using the app store, so get lucky and get happy. Of course, there are seriously sexually transmitted diseases out there. So I'm not saying go off and go mad, but I mean, be responsible. Duh. So yeah, it's tricky. It's a fine line. You have to really know what you want, and it's sometimes difficult. At least start with this. Start with understanding what you don't want. If you know what you don't want, then you can really sort of marginalize what you do want, because I think you have to start somewhere. Whether it's, I don't want someone who's demanding, or I don't want someone who's controlling, or I don't want someone. Look, given most people are little bits of that, we all have our traits, we all come with our baggage, our stuff, our luggage, from our past, from our parents, from our families. There's always that. No one is squeaky clean at all. Not in this lifetime. Nowhere, no how. But it's so important to know what you want. I don't know, I'm really feeling like I'm getting old. I feel like, thank God I'm not on the Tinder apps. Or I suppose there's older gentlemen's too. But lately, I don't know what's happened to me. All of a sudden, it's like maybe my hysterectomy is catching up on me. Ooh, my eyesight's failing. I found another grey hair. Anyway, don't tell anyone. So Brandon's like, I'm clean. Okay, fair enough. We know you are, Brandon. We know you are. Oh, shame. Well, it's awesome to have met you online. I mean, you are the only YouTuber that was worried because I got quiet and you messaged me to ask if I was okay. Cool. Sweet. I'm like, something's missing here. What is missing? Where's Cameron? Brandon says, took a shower and sanitized. No, it's always good. Listen, I actually can't get into bed at night if I haven't had a shower, like a rinse. Like I just, No, I don't mean rinse. Like just wash. I have to generally have a shower before I get into bed. Thank you, Amy. How'd you like my fire? Isn't that fantastic? Right, so now we're totally off subject. And I'm going to get, TG's going to freak me out. Well, you made me drag on that bloody thing. Puff the magic and drag on. Anyway. Oh, yes. So take me private. So where are we now? So that's the way this woman, like, has this one-on-one camping. And I promise you, even if you're just going to watch that episode, it's, like, so hectic. Like, it's hectic in a way because it's such a human experience. It is so human. And even with the Tinder dating, these women open up to this guy. This guy opens up to them. And just when they start to, like, he's got his promotional business. So in a way, he's like he's like a, what are they called? Concierge. So he can be with women and he flirts with women, and if he's dating, I really don't think women should take him seriously, and that's the thing. If they not expecting him, because they even talk about marriage and what they want out of life. If a guy is talking marriage, like, a woman will expect the guy to actually be serious on the date. right? If a guy is not talking, and please, guys, when you're on these dates, try not bring up your exes, even though it's generally an icebreaker. Maybe you could mention what things you really don't like about a person. Like, I can't stand someone who's inconsiderate, and I'm not null of that. Like, I think I can be inconsiderate at times, we all can. So it's hard. It's very, very hard to kind of. But if you know what you dislike, or you know what you want, you can try and see that in another person. Mountain Goat, sorry, I'm old school. You can only really get to know someone face to face. You have to spell check, etc. online. How you expect to get to know a person without their spell check? Yeah, no. But this is the thing, Mountain Goats. I mean, you're in a relationship, right? If I have that correct. People today don't go out, and with this lockdown, people have become totally terrified. Even before the lockdown, how many people would you see? And these little black mirrors are to blame, because you'd be on the train or you'd be somewhere standing in a queue, and everyone's on their little black mirrors. No one's talking to each other. And if you do turn around and talk to someone, and someone does actually happen to engage with you, like, that's awesome. But 9 times out of 10, no one's engaging. No one's talking. Literally, Superman could be flying past the flipping window and no one would notice. Okay, and this is wrong with our lives. This is exactly why we need to take stock, and you need to understand what you want from life. And I'm also old school. I cannot text people if I'm getting to know them. I mean, you can ask anyone. I get misunderstood too easily because I type like I don't know. I think out of my head. And I textualize sort of my little squeaks and squawks and sounds that I'm making. And I'll think, oh, fuck that. That's so cool. And then I'll write that, and the person's like, what do you mean, fuck that? Like, this is how I do it. So even with TG, and I think this is the breaking point for him, he was so used to doing the Tinder thing and meeting people online that when I called him and I said, how's it? What happened? We did a bit of Tinder, and then I said, listen, I can't Tinder. This stuff is too teeny and too weird. Like, it's not at all friendly. I don't know what it's like now, but are there emojis? Were there emojis on Tinder? I think they were. I don't know. I can't remember. It's so long ago. But it just feels very cold and sort of one-dimensional, if that makes sense. I really don't know what it's like now. But yeah. So yes. And I think when I phoned him and I picked up the phone, I got his digits, and then I decided, stuff this, life's too short. And I phoned him, and he got the fright of his life, eh? And I said, well, we can Skype. Let's Skype. I think we spoke a few days, and then we Skyped. So we Skyped for about 2 weeks, and then I met him. And yeah, it was very, very cool. And we saw each other again, and then I wasn't sure if I was going to see him again, and then he called me, and yeah, it sort of blossomed, and it's taken its toll, but
5 years later.
Yeah, 5 years later. Wedding bells should happen soon. No, I don't know. That's another conversation for another time. But you have to get real with your intention. If your intention is real and you mean to do what you're doing, I think it's great that you get online or you go to the places you enjoy going to and try and meet people. And you never know. And go to parties, even if you don't feel like going. And you feel, oh, I don't want to go. Maybe you meet someone exciting. Maybe you meet your dream girl or your dream guy. You've got to take chances. You've got to get out there. Okay, you guys are talking about what? I type with one finger on my smartphone. Oh, okay. The Nokia. Wait. Isn't that like a dinosaur? The Nokia 3310. That's like a dinosaur, right? I miss the keyboard, the mountain goat. Yeah. No, listen, my phone freezes. Last week, my phone was not cooperating at all. I would have, yeah, it was just horrendous. I'd type something and then it would stuck and huck fuss, and then type 5 different things of that same kind and misspell things. So, like I say, I prefer doing the voice note thing. And I actually just did a whole data like transfer, and it's now hanging again. So it's clearly not happy. And then the last episode, is it the last episode? So this is one thing that scares me as I have a teenager. This 18-year-old girl went out with a friend. They met a guy who they didn't really know. So this one is Don't Stop Filming. And they met a guy and he gave them alcohol and they went and partied. I don't know if they knew him from before. They might have. But the chemistry was pretty wild between two of them. And this one girl, obviously, they were discussing, teenagers today, there are no boundaries, there are no limits. And they decided they were going to film the experience. And the girl, they all agreed. But then during the act, the girl changed her mind. But because this girl was live streaming, she was sort of taken up by the moment and she just carried on streaming. You can't find the original clip today. It's been taken down. But this girl basically saw her friend being raped. Like, obviously things had gone too far and this guy was just not going to take no for an answer, and she kept on filming. And the comments were most disturbing. The comments were, don't stop filming, carry on, can you get a better angle? Like, yeah, so she was basically charged with aiding to a rapist. I don't know what the correct charge is in America, but like, she didn't do anything to help her friend. And ironically enough, hey, Pink Pastel Roses is here. Hiya. She didn't do anything to stop it. And I mean, I know a girl at school, she was molested in an elevator, and the person that was with her, her friend, just stood and watched like she was in shock. And she turned to later, she told me, she actually asked her friend, why didn't you stop him? Why didn't you do anything? And the friend didn't know what to do. So there is that. And I think lots of people have these stories. But I mean, the fact that you can literally, and I think in a way it's good that they, look, there's a twist to the story as usual. I mean, I think really recommend everybody watch this. It's 6 episodes. It's really not going to be much. And it gives you an insight into a world that either you know very well or you don't know at all. And it's like, I know TG's got a little one, and she recently had a birthday party, and one of her requests was she wanted a phone, and she's 8 years old. And I said, no. Well, not my decision, it's his decision. But I was like, my son didn't have a phone at 8. No chance in hell. And as a little girl, oh, yeah. So, like some people say, yeah, they have a phone, but it's only, they can only phone 4 people. If they have if they have an internet connection, they can literally go anywhere. So, yeah. Yeah, so Pink Pastel Roses says sick. Exactly. But the one thing is, what if you're stuck in the moment? Like, why is it that some people freeze when there's chaos? Like, why is it that some people just can't get up and help? Like, why didn't you help him? Why weren't you couldn't you see he was choking? Couldn't you see something was going on? Why didn't you get up? Why did you just sit there? Some people can't, in that they're such in shock that they can't react. Thank God I'm not one of those. But yeah, it's hectic. It is hectic. Mountain Goat says, I see youngsters walking down the road in the suburbs alone with a mask on. How will the kid have the guts to ask a girl out? No, sure. And listen, what's going on with teenagers at the moment with this whole, you're not right as you are, you have to be something else, it's so freaking sad. Thank God my son is a wholesome young man who knows who he is, I hope. I try and encourage him to be as authentic as he possibly can. But it's very scary how what's going on is training our children to be so isolated, to allow these robots and these things to affect them. So those are a few of my comments. Anything else you guys can think of? Like, I'm not saying online dating is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like anything, it can become dangerous, whether it be excessive drug taking. Oh wait, TG's playing with buttons again. Yeah, like every single episode had its. The first one I wasn't like, it was interesting, but I sort of skipped through a lot. I was sort of cooking when it was on, so I didn't pay too much attention to it. But the last few episodes really, really hit me. I wasn't too interested in the porn one either. I mean, yeah. But we need to decide, like anything, whether it's alcohol, smoking, whatever our thing is, our dependency, our crutch, our poison, how far are we going to take it? When is enough enough? Yeah, and the digital dating thing, I think it's exciting. It's exciting getting online, but you can become totally wrapped up in it. Totally. I don't think too much of it is healthy, and I think it shouldn't be something that you allow to go on for too long without actually meeting the person if possible. Like these people that get scammed out of hundreds and thousands and hundreds of dollars, or like, really, like, why do you allow that to happen to yourself? Are you so needy to have some fulfillment in your life that you can't see the wood for the trees, and it's sad, and I'm not judging anyone. I flip, I went to London to go and meet someone, and they were okay. I don't know if they were for me. I came back to South Africa because I had to, but things eventually fizzled out, and it didn't feel right. But I'd spent a year getting to know this person. I'm glad I went to London for the experience. I went to go and see family and friends. I think you've always got to have a goal in mind when meeting someone. What do you want to get out of it? Whether it is just sex or whether it's something more. So those are sort of my opinions on that. What is that series called? So the series is called Hot Girls. Here it is again on screen. Hot Girls Wanted, Turned On. So there's Hot Girls Wanted, which is all about the initial porn industry, which I think was set 10 years ago. Hey, how many years ago? No, not so long ago. How long? 4 years ago. And then this new one is now more recent. So it's very fascinating. And there's no major, you don't see, unfortunately, for those of you who really want to see, it's on Netflix. So there's not like anything too hectic on there. I think you and TJ are awesome together, even though I've never seen his face. You need to improve your detective work, Cameron. No, I'm teasing. Yeah, there is that event. I think Amy's mentioned it this Saturday. I'll check with her for all the details. Yeah, I actually would love to be in Cape Town, but apparently the Cape Town weather is actually a bit not so lekker lately. Like, that's the thing, we've got to invent ourselves for different dating ideas, like when you can't go out. But I think if you can definitely meet people, it's important. It's important to meet people, especially face to face. Then you get a full idea. I mean, you can smell them, and not only their cologne, but their essence. I think scent is very important, and that's why, guys, when you go on these dates, please remember, like, to spray a bit of deodorant if you haven't had time to like change a shirt or something. Like, I know it happens. Keep deodorant in your car, because smell to a woman is very important. Very. If a guy might not maybe be the most like good looking, but if he stonkers, it's an instant turn off for a woman. That's the truth. TG is an AI. Exactly. Alrighty. Yeah, we've done an hour, hey? No, not yet, not quite. I don't know. I think that's all I wanted to say. I just think you need to be careful. I think, as well. Don't be scammed by people. Don't get too serious too soon. Take it slow. Take it easy. And you know what? If the person's not prepared to take it slow, if the person's not prepared to understand where you're coming from, and there's nothing you can do to convince them otherwise, then stuff it. Then c'est la vie. You'll find someone else. I don't think it's good to settle, but I think you shouldn't be too picky. It's a very fine line. Just remember what you don't want. Definitely what you don't. If that person does things to you that you don't want, then run. Freaking run. Immediately. Like, decide. Like, I'll never forget, I went on a date with a guy. He was so rude to the waiter that I literally thought to myself, can this floor swallow me? Because thank God it was at the end of the evening, because I'm sure if it was in the beginning of the evening, we would have been eating all sorts of kind of DNA. Yeah, so thank God it was at the end of the evening. But my golly gosh, sure. Thanks, Cameron. 41 minutes. Yeah, it's a school night, and yeah, it's been a long day. I actually thought today, gosh, it feels like a Thursday, and it's not. After all those long weekends and all the short weeks, I'm battling this week, guys. I am freaking battling. It's long. It's long, lady. It's long. So yeah, phew. Yeah. So if you're checking us out, please subscribe. We talk about all sorts of different topics, things that relate to people, things that have related to me in my life, things that I have done, my experiences, friends, the people that I love. And yeah, if you'd like to be part of our conversation, there's the Telegram group, Rebellious 2.0 group. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we can connect with you on there. And that's about it. So guys, have a great rest of the week. We will try. Yeah, I'm sorry we haven't been streaming on Tuesdays. Tuesdays have just become insane. We might have to rethink our time slots. Let us know in the comments what date and time suits you, what day of the week suits you. Fridays is difficult. Don't do Fridays. Saturdays perhaps, but that can also be tricky with certain weekends. But yeah, I don't know which day is like Pooza Thursdays. There's always good for a Pooza Thursday, I think. Yeah, Tuesdays. Well, we can check it out. We can definitely check it out. But all right, have the great, I'm saying happy midweek, and have a good one. And yeah, don't get too down. This too shall pass, indeed. So yeah, cool guys. TTFN. See you soon. Bye.